Hey guys, it's Tony with Backwoods Biker Magazine and Wood Tramp Outdoors. It's August. This is mission number 78 at BattlBox. Hang tight. You want to see this. Alright guys, welcome back. Obviously we're back out in the bar. By request, by the way, had a lot of emails that reached out to us and said, hey, you know, that's pretty dope being able to do the BattlBox review for everybody at the bar. Yeah, well, this is it. And yes, this is my garage bar. Okay, a little bit nicer than most, but that's just how I am. So let's get off into this mission here. This is mission number 78 for August. Summer's almost over. And this month's box kind of covers a lot of bases here. But before going on, let me just remind you, because here's another thing. People are asking me, you know, different questions about BattlBox. And, you know, lo and behold, you know, on a weekly basis, we'll get a question about, you know, how do you get into BattlBox? What do they cost? So let's just talk about that for a second here. There are 4 different tiers. There's a basic box, which starts you out at $29.99, and there's always good stuff in the basic box. Don't let that price fool you. Then there's the advanced box, which is $59.99, always good stuff. And then there is the Pro box, which is $109.99, and there is the Pro Plus box, which is $159.99. And the way BattlBox works is each tier builds on the other tier. In other words, you know, you buy the Pro Plus box, you get everything that's in the basic box, the advanced box, and the Pro box, plus the Pro Plus box, which is the knife of the month. So you get quite a bit of stuff, and always you will at least double your value. So that's why we have always endorsed BattlBox since the day that we made contact. They're a good company and a good group of people that are down there in Georgia. So let's get out and let's talk about this August box right here. The first thing is called Temp and Toss disposable forehead thermometer strips. I first saw these in Africa. These are great alternatives to having a glass thermometer, especially, and even a digital thermometer that you have to lug around. But this comes in a 6-pack. There are 6 different strips. And what I would recommend, you can see that right there. There's 6 of them there. I would recommend cutting these in 6 different sections and putting 1 in each, or 2 in each of your IFAK kits or your group med kit. Because it is always an advantage if someone comes down with an infection, whether it's you or somebody in your party. It's an advantage to be able to have the ability to take their temperature. They give this a value of $13.99. We thought that was pretty good. You know, it's 100% made in the USA. So there you go for everybody that would like to keep things rolling here in the U.S. These are great little adds to this month's basic box. All right, the next item in here for all you guys that are hungry all the time comes from ReadyWise. And as we've talked about before, ReadyWise is a great company for these ready-made hot water pouches. They're pretty reasonable when you consider that in a bag like this, you're going to get about 2.5, maybe 3 meals, depends on how much that you need to eat at that particular moment. 21 grams of protein per pouch, and they're very easy to use. Obviously, you heat your water, you boil it up, you pour it in the bag, seal it up, wait 12 to 15 minutes, and you're chowing. And they've got a lot of different meals, and I think that they come in different variety of prices as well. At least they used to, but that is a great ad also. They give this a value of $8.98. So if you break that down to 2.5 meals, you're under $4 a meal, which is pretty reasonable when you're talking about carrying stuff out into the bush like that. Very, very light. Now the next item in the basic box is from Bigfoot bushcraft. It's a fire starter, and you know how I feel about fire starters. You know, we make our own. Wood Tramp Outdoors, Wood Tramp Gear, we make the survival fire kit, the SFK1. And we sell many of those things throughout the year. But I don't mind telling you that there is other people out there that have got some corn in their crib when it comes to making fire starters. Not everybody, but this one from Bigfoot, we thought this was pretty slick here. These are like, they feel like a dowel rod. That's about what the consistency of they are. It is, to me, this is a cotton type of fiber that has been impregnated with probably paraffin wax. I'm just guessing. I do know this, is that when you tear these open, you hit it with a ferro rod, it's going to burn. And they do burn for at least 5 minutes. Ours burned for a little bit more, almost 6 minutes. But what is cool about these? Number one, there are 60 of these plugs in this resealable pouch. So that's at least 60 fires. But if you conserve your resource by cutting them in half, now you've got 120. But if you're talking about building fires in the summertime, I'm convinced you could cut these in fourths and just fluff them up and put them in your bird's nest that's dried out because of the summer. And you're going to be able to have 4 fires out of one of these right here. So that's a great add as far as I'm concerned. Now in the winter time or the fall and even the spring when the rains are coming down or the snow, a lot of moisture in your resources that you're going to be building a fire with, you might need a whole stick. But, you know, to me, this is a great ad, BattlBox. So kudos to you. Kudos to Bigfoot. You got a nice little product right here. And for $19.99 for 60 fires at least, that's a really good buy that they've added in there for you. All right, the last thing in the basic box is something that when I saw this, I thought, great, it's perfect timing. Because we've had a lot of emails here lately asking us, you know, is there a kit that we could recommend to take care of your knives? You know, and the first thing that we're going to, you know, we were talking about is doing another video on the lubricant, the knife lubricant for the hinge points that came in, I think, last month's BattlBox. And then this come from Flitz Tactical. It is a gun and knife care kit. It's a 4-piece kit, has a value of $24.95. Look at here. You get a microfiber towel to be able to lay your knives on or your firearms. You get the Flitz polish, which we've seen this before, and we use this a lot here on our knives. You know, after we test them and, you know, review them, before we put them away, we try to clean them up. We use Flitz quite a bit here. This is the polish. And then this is the tactical matte finish cleaner, and then this is the ceramic gun sealant. All right, and we use these on some knives, and we thought, man, this is pretty slick stuff. It didn't stain it, didn't hurt it, and it gave it somewhat of a protectant on that. All right, they give this a value of $24.95. Great for your handguns. I guess you could use it with your long guns also, your shotguns or whatever. But here's something I want to say before I move on, is that this particular matte finish cleaner removes a lot of the residue that your fingers leave, the fats, the oils, the dead skin that gets left on your knives that causes corrosion sometimes or causes corrosion on your firearms. Bingo, it's taken care of right there. So that's a great ad also there, you know, so you got a 4-piece kit to be able to take care of your stuff. So next up is the Advanced Box, and what we have in the Advanced Box this month is a neckband type of LED light. It's called the CAT CT7100. And I'll just tell you right off the bat, this is probably not something that I'm going to put in a backpack or a haversack to carry out in the bush with me. But this is one of the good things about BattlBox. They are not tunnel vision focused on one particular demographic or one particular hobby or practice or whatever you might want to call it. Because this is going to end up in my garage or somebody else's garage. because it's perfect when you need to be hands-free. That's awful bright, isn't it? Whoa! You use one light. There. This is a 200 lumens light. You know, it's pretty decent. Yeah, look at that. You know, I'm playing with the light, man. That's pretty cool though, right? You know, if you're working on a motorcycle, if I'm working on my motorcycle or e-bikes or my truck, or just need a project done where I need some light, but I don't want to have to hold the flashlight in my mouth, or I don't want to wear a headlamp. You know, sometimes headlamps do get in the way. These are pretty dope. You know, so that is a great ad for the advanced box. They give this a value of $29.99. That's pretty sharp right there. All right, so let's move on to the Pro Box. And in the Pro Box, we've got something that's, you know, as soon as we saw it, we thought, hey man, this is interesting. But you know, face masks are something that I'm very familiar with. Respirators, very familiar with that because of the industry that I've been involved with for the past forever years. You know, this is the PD100 full face respirator gas mask, called a gas mask. And I'm going to take it out of the plastic here. But I want to tell you this, is that you should always return these to a plastic bag and seal them up. Okay, I've used many. I can't give you a number, but I've used the 3M styles, and there's several different varieties. And I've got 3Ms that are full face like this particular one, but every one of them need to go back in a bag. Because the cartridges can break down once you deploy them, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put the cartridges in because I've got plenty of these masks laying around. There's no sense for me to use this up like this. But having one of these in your arsenal is not a bad idea. Now, this is what they say about this. It's dependable for strong protection against organic vapors and 95% of particulates down to 0.3 microns. Not only will it help you from, you know, like viruses and stuff like that, this is an expensive way to protect yourself against viruses when you can use different masks that you see everybody wearing. But if you're in a situation where there are some organic vapors, you can't beat these. You know, you will not detect those in here. And what I like about this particular mask compared to other ones that I've used is that this particular company has figured out how to keep it from fogging up on you, which other companies need to pay attention to, because that's one of the things when you're wearing a full face mask that you have problems with. Is you got the condensation that's happening because of the exhale being in the wrong spot. You know, so this is a great ad for this month. They give us a value, as I said, of $99.97, and you know, you can't go wrong with this thing here. But you know, as I said, when you get this thing, you know, take it out before you have an emergency. Take it out, take a look at it, figure out how to put it together, and then put that dude back away into the plastic bag, and also the filters. Now the filters are sealed, so that's not as important, but after you break that seal on those, man, you want to stick these things in a plastic bag. Also comes with replacement clasps, and I'm going to tell you something. That's the first thing to go on these. When you're pulling on those straps to snug your mask down, and you get your intake and your outlet test going. These break all the time, right? So I'm going to put this right back here in the box, along with those, and just set this off. It was surprising to see that in there, you know. But if you're one of those like me that sprays, you know, paints, lacquers, epoxy, stuff like that. You know, if you're painting a motorcycle or a bicycle or whatever, a car, truck, bingo, that would be great for you. So that's, $99.97. Now you keep in mind here that all the way up to this, the basic is $29.95 or $29.99, and the advanced box is $59.99, and now we're up here to the Pro box, which is $109.99, and already you have got look, we'll call this 130, 155, 175, 185, almost $200 in gear, and all you have spent is $109.95. That is the reason, one of the reasons why we have kept endorsing BattlBox. Always the best bang for your buck. And then we get on to the Pro Plus section of this mission number 78. We've seen several knives from Williamson through BattlBox, and I've also have seen and reviewed other ones strictly from the company that has represented him, has sent me a few of these. And this one is the Williamson Copenhagen Chibs 2-tone. And if you want to understand, they come in several different colors. This is another folder. And look at that, man. They send you a little patch right there, a little rubber patch, and then you got the knife. And you know, I think Williamson is one of those companies that always sends you an extra clip for your knife. But here is the guy right chaw, right? And they come in different colors. This happens to be the black and the white. But look at that, man. Always a sharp looking knife. Now let me read this to you. Updated from the original design, the Chibs from Williamson Copenhagen is one sexy knife. Okay, I agree. This is a Sandvik 14C blade steel. All right, that's not going to rust on you. Dark acid wash flats, machine ground bevels, and textured two-tone G10 scales. This has happened to be one of those knives. I like this. It fits well in my hand. It's built tank tough. It's not going to have any inclusions in this at all. And I mean, it's just really easy to work with. I like it, man. That is a dope knife right there. It's very easy to work with. You know, and a lot of these, you know, not so much so, but this one is. They come in olive gray or brown, and I'm thinking they're going to call this gray. It looks kind of black and white to me, but this is one of those scales that I'll take some sandpaper to it and quiet it down a little bit. It's kind of aggressive for me. It's a tip-up clip. Man, it's balanced. Look at this, man. Look at the balance on that. I really like that knife. So sharp. Very, very sexy knife. Lightweight. It doesn't give the weight here, but it weighs hardly anything. And of course, it comes in this little case right here. Yeah, we came across Williamson knives several years ago when they were getting out of the gate. And they sent us a couple knives, and they were very, very impressive. And BattlBox is hooked up with them to be able to bring them to you. So you'll get a really nice folder here this month. You know, what a great box this month. And don't forget. Or here, let's finish. Let me back up a little bit. Told you this is $159.99 is what you pay for this. Well, we were at almost $200 on the value up to this point. They give this a value of $95. That's $295, and all you spent was $159.95 or $159.99. That's what I'm saying. You know, they always do something special in regards to bang for the buck. They make sure they get it out there for you. Now, on the back last page here, you see this right here, Southern Survival. That is another thing we always get questions about. What do we think about Southern Survival? I think it's great entertainment, great infotainment, could be edutainment, you know, when it comes to them testing their gear, you know, going through all that. And it's comical, it's funny, and I'm looking forward to another season of that. Matter of fact, let me just kind of give you a reveal here. But in a very near future for one of our issues, we are doing a interview with Mr. Daniel Dabbs the originator and owner of BattlBox. He's the guy that came up with the idea, you know, with the concept, and we're going to be interviewing him for an article. So be on the lookout. We'll let you know when that hits, and it's going to be very interesting. So I hope that's helped you out. August, mission number 78 for BattlBox. A lot of good stuff in it. Really love this knife. Just fire plugs was great. The thermometer, a lot of stuff is great. It's gas mask. Come on, man. Nice, nice, nice. So, till next time, you guys ride free, you live free. Get out there this summer and be safe while you do.